The owner of a Niagara County bridal shop is asking her customers to be patient. She's been hospitalized ever since the house next door to her exploded. News 4's Al Vaughters is here with more on this. Al?
Well, Betty Kinsella was not in her shop when the house next door was leveled by a massive gas explosion, but she's still lucky to be alive. The sudden trauma aggravated a heart condition, which put her in the hospital.
I'm not ready to give up the store. The store is my life, and the brides make me feel young.
Betty Kinsella is now recovering in the cardiac care unit at Mount St. Mary's from a bout with angina as her bridal shop sits closed. Condemned after the house next door was leveled by a massive explosion Wednesday afternoon.
And a large fireball, and at the same time you saw debris flying through the air and across Military Road.
When Betty heard about the blast, she followed emergency vehicles to the scene, and that's when it hit her.
But I had to run in the heat, and it was so hot I blacked out for a minute. And then when I came to, they were giving me angina medicine.
Betty had been walking through the fashion outlet with her walking buddies, and they stopped for coffee, which might have saved her life. Betty told us she was delayed returning home by a couple of her walking buddies. Otherwise, she would have been in the kitchen making sandwiches for lunch when the explosion took place, right there in the part of the house that incurred by far the worst damage. Now Betty just wants all those young brides-to-be that have put their trust in her to know she's trying her best to keep that trust, even though the shop and her home in the rear are condemned.
It's my life. After my husband died, it was more important. It kept me going after he died. And I just don't want anybody to think I've forgotten them.
Authorities are conducting a criminal investigation of Wednesday's blast, but officials did allow Betty's son to retrieve her customer register, and he's contacting all those brides-to-be to keep them updated. Al Vaughters, News 4 at 5:30.